if you're definitely if you're taking refuge, we come into the altar, the room, and we would, just take a moment to connect with the holy objects and do 3 prostrations to show reverence, to help us purify spiritual crowd, helps us to be able to connect with why we came here and receive some blessing and inspiration.
Jūs ērti to darīt, mēs tad 3 reizes paklimēsimies altārim, lai izveidotu to saikni.
It helps us to remind ourselves why we came here and to receive some blessing and inspiration.
Tas tā kā klanīšanās palīdz mums, atgādina mums, kāpēc mēs šeit esam atnākuši un dot svētību un ietversmu arī.
Om Namo Manjushri Namaste Namo Namaste Om Namo Manjushri Namaste Namo Namaste Soham Om Namo Manjushri Namaste Namo Namaste Soham. So let's just take a couple of minutes to settle our minds before we start, just bringing our awareness to our body and our breathing. And then before we begin, just clarify our motivation.
Un tad pirms sākt mēs noskaidrojam savu motivāciju.
So first of all, just to connect with and clarifying your own heart, your own mind, and what were your reasons for coming this morning?
Tad noskaidrojam savā sirdī, savā prātā, kas ir iemesls, kāpēc mēs šeit esam atnākuši.
So just to remind ourselves, as we always do, trying to be, as people practicing this path, that how fortunate we are to wake up this morning. We are precious human life.
Tad, kā ierasts šajā tradīcijā, mēs domājam par to, cik veiksmīgi mēs esam, kā šorīt esam pamodušies, ka mums ir daudz cilvēks kāpums šeit.
So we find ourselves, in this human realm, in this lifetime, having taken this body, that's definitely going to at some point face, death, face death and impermanence.
Tad šajā dzīvē mums ir dots cilvēciskais ķermenis, mēs esam cilvēku sfērā, bet ir jāsaprot arī nepastāvību, tas, ka kādu dienu mēs sastapsimies ar mamām.
So as Buddhist practitioners, that's something important to reflect and remind ourselves of every day, the impermanence of this life.
Šīs dzīves nepastāvība ir lieta, kas budismu praktisētājiem būtu jāpārdomā katru dienu. Tas ir ļoti svarīgi.
And the result of that reflection and remembrance is so that we remind ourselves that, in reality then, every moment of our existence is very precious.
Mums ir jāatkārtina sev, ka katrs mūsu eksistences brīdis ir ļoti dārgs.
Especially because we have, as Lord Buddha discovered and taught, this potential, this human potential to develop incredible wisdom and compassion.
Ja vairāk tādēļ, ka Buddha ir paskaidrojis, ka mums ir šis cilvēciskais potenciāls un mēs varam attīstīt savu gudrību un līdzjūtību.
So this medicine Buddha practice is another precious practice that allows us to be able to, purify our faults and develop this potential of wisdom and compassion.
Tad mēs veiksim vēl vienu praksi, kas ir ļoti īpaši dārga praksi, kas palīdz mums atmierīt savus nepilnības un iet ceļā uz to attīstītu gudrību un līdzjūtību.
And because the main aim of our practice in the Mahayana tradition, as I mentioned last night, is to benefit others.
Tā kā Mahāyānas prakses galvenais mērķis, kā es to paskaidroju vakar, ir sniegt labumu citiem.
So by doing this practice, reciting the sutra and all the names of the Buddhas, it develops us within ourselves the capacity to be, as it says, wish-fulfilling for others, to be of greater benefit for others.
Veicot šo praksi un skaitot, lasot sutru un skaitot visu Budu vārdus, mēs arī paši kļūstam par labu citiem.
To awaken our enlightened potential for others and benefit others in a variety of ways.
Un tādējādi mēs varam atmodināt savu šo augstības potenciālu un sniegt labumu citiem dažādos veidos.
And among many of the benefits, one of them is benefiting sentient beings at the time of death. So by reciting this, doing this practice, practice, we can benefit ourselves and others at the time of day.
Viens no šīs prakses labumiem ir tāds, ka mēs labumu citiem, kas, teiksim, to brīdi mirst, un jā, ja mēs to praktizējam, tad mēs varam palīdzēt cilvēkiem, kas ir nāves slēdz.
So, generally speaking, perhaps we can think, I'm going to learn about this practice and do this practice today. So I myself can become wish-fulfilling, as it says in this practice, for all sentient beings.
Tad mēs varam pārdomāt to, kas ir teikt šajā praksē, ka veicot šo praksi, es pats kļūstu kā vēlams piepildošs.
Especially being able to benefit them at the time of death, being beneficial also for myself at the time of death, and also being able to embody all the qualities that this medicine Buddha practice can do for myself and others.
Kā jau tagad ir šī spēja palīdzēt cilvēkiem, kas mirst, tieši tajā nāves brīdī sniegt labumu un arī pašiem sevi attīstīt dažādas labas īpašības.
Okay. Anything you want to say about Shri Krishna? Okay, so good morning again, or good morning first time. It was good evening last night, I think, so it's good morning now. So what I thought to do this morning is just go through the puja briefly, and it's not that complicated this time. And then we're going to do set up the altar together, and then we're going to have a short tea break, and then we're going to do the practice, because the practice takes just over an hour. So we maybe do about an hour now of discussion and setting up the altar, have a tea break, and then we'll come back and do the practice together before lunch. It's okay? So some of you are familiar. Who's done the
Tas, ko mēs darīsim, tagad īsumā iziesim cauri tā puģai, kas ir, šis ir tāds diezgan vienkāršs variants, un tas prasīs apmēram stundu, pēc tam mēs kopā, tad mēs kopā varam arī iekārtot altāri, un tad būs tējas pauze, un tad būs pati praksa, kas arī prasīs varbūt nedaudz vairāk kā stundu.
Who has done the medicine Buddha Siddhana or has some familiarity with this practice?
Kurš ir veicis medicīnas Buddhas praksi un kuram ir nedaudz taisīts?
Okay, quite a few of us, good. So it's basically, this practice a bit more longer version.
Tad šī praksa ir tāds nedaudz garāks variants.
So let's just open up the page and page 5 is really just a praise to the sutra.
Tad piekā lapa ir šīs sutras slavinājums.
So we go to page number 6.
Tad mēs šķāšamies 6. lapu.
So page number 6, we, as in any practice, we start by taking refuge.
Tad 6. lapā, kas līdzīgi kā citās praksēs, ir patvērumu pieņemšana.
And cultivating our motivation with the 4 immeasurables and special bodhicitta on page 7.
Tad mēs pēc patvērumu pieņemšanas, ko parasti sākas visas prakses, mēs kultivējam, attīstām arī līdzjūtību ar 4 neizmērojamām domām un īpašo bodhicittas radīšanu.
So as most of us know, that's the basis or the beginning or preliminary of all the Buddhist practices.
Un tā kā lielākā daļa no mums to varbūt jau zina, tas ir tas tradicionālais sākums, kāds ar visām budistu praksēm.
Then we go to page number 8 and we purify the place and visualize that we're in a kind of like a Buddha field here.
Un tad 8. lapā ir vietas attīrīšana, tas nozīmē, ka mēs tā kā visu vizualizējam šī tīra vieta, kā vieta budistība.
So again, because we're going to invite the 8 medicine Buddhas to come here, we visualize that we're not in an ordinary place, but we're in like a pure land or a Buddha field with many offerings.
Un tādēļ, ka mēs kā ielūksim šos te 8 medicīnas Budus, lai viņi šurp nāk, mēs vizualizējam, ka tā nav parasta vieta, bet ir tā tīrā zeme, kur viņi ir aicināti.
Which includes, we would clean the room, we're going to set up beautiful offerings of candles and incense and flowers and food to invite the medicine Buddhas to come, just because we're inviting special guests. You would do any time.
Un tas, tā viss tā sagatavošanās, tas, ka tiek iztīrīta istaba un tiek iekārtots altārs un uz altāra visi šie piedāvājumi, tas ir līdzīgi kā gaidot dārgus ciemiņus, tas, ko mēs darītu savās mājās.
So making the offerings like this creates a condition for us to begin to feel the presence of the Buddhas coming here and blessing our mind.
Tas, ka mēs veicam šos piedāvājumus, tas rāda to cēloņus tam, lai Buddhas šurp nāktu un svētītu mūsu prātu.
So that's what we're doing on pages 8 and 9 and number 10, making offerings and then reciting the invocation in number 10, saying, okay, we've made the place ready, please come here.
Tas ir 8. 9. lapa, tie ir piedāvājumi, vietas attīrīšana, un pēc tam 10. lapā ir kā piesaukšana, kur viss jau ir sagatavots, un mēs vieta ir sagatavota, un mēs piesaucam šos te Budus.
So then we visualize that all the Buddhas come here.
Un tad mēs vizualizējam, ka visi Budus nāk uz šejienu.
And we recite the 7-limb practice, these 2 verses of prostration, and then just saying, just as you page number 11, beseeching, just as you promised, please do some things for us, You promised, so show me the money. I'll explain that in a minute.
Tad ir 7 zaru, un tad, kad jau Budas ir ieradušies, tad ir šī 7 zaru lūkšana, un pēc tam ir, lūd. Un tad sako tā lūkšana, kur mēs lūdzam, jo, Budas ir devuši apsolījumu, ka viņi sniegs visādas svētības un dažādas labums, un tad tur tiek lūgts, lai tad viņi pildu to savus solījumus.
So we're kind of, anyway, it's a bit of a personal joke, but one time, a few weeks ago, I did the Zambala. It's a wealth-giving practice to the Buddhas. You offer water over wealth deities.
Un tad tas ir tāds joks no personīgās dzīves. Pirms kāda laika es veicu šo tā pārticības praksi, kur ir šī pārticības dievība Zambala, kurai tiek lietas virsū ūdens.
And one of my friends said, okay, so if we do that practice, at some point again you do the practice, then you say, okay, I've done my side, please, you're the Buddhas, you do your side, you know, you do your part.
Kāds no maniem draugiem teica, tad tas ir tā, tad jūs izdarat savu darbu no savas puses, un tad jūs gaidiet, kad Buddha no savas puses arī darīs to, ko viņš ir apsolījis.
So we made all the offerings and did the visualization. So my friend said, so now do we say, show me the money?
Un tad mēs veicām visus šos piedāvājumus, un tad draudzene teica, tad tagad Buddha rāda man naudu.
Anyway, so it's a little bit joke, but like something similar. We've done the preliminaries, so now we're saying, so now we request you to come here and, you know, fulfill the prayers that you made, you know, to help us.
Tas ir, šeit ir līdzīgi, ka mēs esam sagatavojuši visus piedāvājumus, un tagad lūdzam Buddhas nākt, lai piepildītu šos te apsolījumus.
So we go on to page number 12, and this is where the main body of the practice begins.
Tad 12. lapa, un tur sāks prakses centrālā daļa.
So basically for each, there's 7 medicine Buddhas. We have here 8 sets of water bowls. They're actually, instead of going from left to right, as most of you know, we go this one, this one, this one, this one.
Un tad šeit ir 8 seti, tie komplekti ir piedāvājumi traukiem, un tad tā vietā, lai ietu, kā parasti, kad lieto ūdeni no kreisās uz labo, tad šeit, how we do here?
Usually we do left to right, once the first bowl to the 7th bowl with the different times. So this time we're going to go from front to back.
Un tad šeit mēs tā kā virzamies no priekšas uz aizmuguri, tā sacīt.
So we have 8 sets going this way, in that direction. And sometimes we'll have pictures of each of the medicine Buddhas. You know, sometimes you can buy each one. If you can do that at some point, get a little picture of a postcard of each of the medicine Buddhas, and you can place it at the end of the rows, so it's a one for grandmama. Or you sometimes have a tanka with 8 medicine Buddhas, that's fine too. Or a satsa or something. Actually, we have the 8 medicine Buddhas anyway on this one, on here too, so that's good.
Jā, tad parasti, ja veido vairāk tās piedāvājums, tad viņi visi ir salikti tādās rindās, tad šeit ir, tās rindas ir tā kā no priekšas uz aizmuguri, un varbūt arī tā, ka katras tās rindas galā, ja ir medicīnas Buddhas attēls, tad var novietot katras rindas galā attēlu, kā tā viss tā piedāvājuma rinda ir veltīta tam konkrētajam medicīnas Buddham.
And who knows what the 7 types of offerings are that we make with these bowls?
Tad vai visi zina, kas ir tie 7 piedāvājumi, ko simbolizē tie trauki?
First one? Yeah.
Water or cleaning?
No, first one is water, drinking.
Then cleaning.
And then next one?
Flowers.
The second one is Sphinxology. Yeah, it's more for bathing the feet. Flowers. Almost. Incense. Then lamp, light.
Aroma
or perfume and food. And then music is also one, but we usually use the instruments. We don't put something on the altar, we play the instrument.
Tad 7 piedāvājumi, tas, ko simbolizē ūdens, tad, kad ieliec tajos traukos, pirmais ir ceramais ūdens, otrs ir ūdens kāju mazgāšanai, tad ir ziedi, vīraks, gaismas piedāvājums, kas ir parasti svece, smaržas, smaržūdens un ēdiens. Un tad vēl 8. ir mūzika, bet to parasti izmanto zvanu, tur nav tas trauks, kā tikai 7.
So we do a set of each medicine Buddha, one set for each medicine Buddha, plus there's Guru Shakyamuni Buddha. So 7 medicine Buddhas plus Shakyamuni Buddha, which is 8.
Un tātad katram no 7 medicīnas budām ir viens tas piedāvājuma komplekts, un vēl plus viens, kas ir Budam Shakyamuni.
So as you see in the practice on page 12, what we do is we recite. Now, reciting the name, I know because this isn't in your own language, it's a bit more difficult. But even if you're not able to do, even with English speakers, sometimes pujas, there's a lot of talking for them. So I always suggest, even if you don't recite the rest of the prayer, the name that we do 7 times, to try to do that one. That one's important, to recite the name. A lot of purification, just reciting the name.
Un tad šeit 12. lapusē ir ļoti daudz tā teksta, kas ir tā kā lūgumi individuālajiem medicīnas budām, bet un pat, teiksim, angliski runājušiem, kad mēs veicam šo te praksi, tad viņiem ir grūti visu to izrunāt, bet ja jūs nevarat, tad variet koncentrēties galvenokārt uz to medicīnas budas vārdu, to pirmo, kas ir tā pirmā daļa, ko skaita 7 reizes, tad mēģiniet vismaz to noskaitīt, jūs jūtat, ka jūs nevarat to pārējo izdarīt.
So it's the same, the practice is very similar for each. We do the same thing for each medicine Buddha plus Shakyamuni Buddha.
Un tad tā praksa ir ļoti līdzīga. Mēs daram to pašu, vēršoties pie katra no 7 medicīnas budām un vēl arī plus Shakyamuni Buddha.
We recite the name of the medicine Buddha 7 times, and then we do we do the 7-limb prayer that we always do at the start of the teaching.
Un tad tas, ko mēs šeit daram, ir mēs 7 reizes skaitam attiecīgā medicīnas budas vārdu, un pēc tam mēs veicam tādu kā 7 zaru lūgšanu, kas ir, jebkuras prakses iesākumā parasti.
And the difference is, we usually first one is I prostrate. Here we have 2 verses for prostration. Not just 1 line, but 2 verses saying, and just which explains and describes the quality of that Buddha. Here, golden in colour, glorious one in the Buddha field, unconquered by others. It's giving a bit more detail, but so it's like a praise and prostration to that Buddha. But it's just the first line of the 7th line, more expanded, more elaborate, more expanded, like a praise.
Tad sākums te ir, kas parasti ir kā paklonīšanās, tad šeit tas ir izvērstā veidā un tiek aprakstīts attiecīgā medicīnas budas īpašības, kā piemēram viņš ir zeltainā krāsā. Un tad šī ir tā kā tas 7 zaru lūkšanas sākums, bet tāds izvērsts, kur mēs tā kā veicam to paklonīšanos.
So really here explaining the qualities, of that particular Buddha, and it does that for each one. You'll have 2 here. So we do a mudra as we, sort of recite the qualities and do a praise and prostration. There's a mudra that goes with that for each Buddha. I believe there are 2 or 3 people who might like to learn the mudra. Does anyone know the mudra already?
Jā, tad bija vēlreiz par to, ka tur tiek aprakstīts detalizētās medicīnas budas kvalitātes, un tad arī, kad mēs šo lasam, tad ir arī īpaša mudra vai ir vai ir kāds, kas zina to mudru, vai vēlās iemācīties.
Rita, you know the mudra?
Mudras I know. I don't know. Some mudras I know, but I don't know what you mean now.
Okay. So, so, you know, for those of us who have a Dorjian bell, we can, you know, a little bit learn how to do the mudra. And if you don't have a Dorjian bell, if you feel, you know, if you're comfortable, the mudra you should do is, you know, just like this, to prostrate, because we're not going to get up and prostrate in the middle of the puja. So we just, you know, just for those verses, and also when we recite the first verse, the 7 times the name, and then these two, we put our palms together at our heart, you know, to prostrate, you know, because it says prostrate, and then these two prostrate.
Bet tie, kuriem ir zvans un vajra, tad tie varēs veikt to mudru, bet citi var vienkārši turēt rokas paklinīšanās mudrā, jo mēs necelsimies katreiz puķis laikā un neveiksim šo te reālo paklinīšanos, bet vienkārši mēs tā kā iedomājamies, kad mēs lasam, tad mēs kā paklinamies.
So for those of us who have a Dorjian bell and would like to learn, or who may have one at home, so we pick up the Dorjian bell, you know, with the right and left hand the bell, and then for you know, the first line, golden in colour with mudra of granting refuge, we hold the dorji like this. So some people hold like this, but you can also do like this. It's called showing the vajra, and then you hold the bell at your heart. So we don't do this. Song Rinpoche one lama used to say it's like donkey, you know, and go like that. So we should have the bell at our heart. That's symbolising awakening the wisdom, realising emptiness in our heart. So we hold the bell at our heart, and the dorji can either be here or can be like this as well.
Un tad tie, kuriem ir vajra un zvans, tad vajru var turēt tā nedaudz priekšā, kas tā kā, kas saucās vajras parādīšana. Un savukārt zvans tiek turēts sirds, iepratī sirds apvidu un nevis zvanīt, kas bija tāds joks, ka tas kā ēzeles iet, un tad zvans, jā. And what was symbolizing there?
It symbolises awakening the wisdom, to awaken the wisdom, realising emptiness in your heart.
Un tas zvans tiek turēts iepratīs sirds apvidumu, kas simbolizē gudrības atmodināšanu savā sirdī.
And then, so first line we do like this. Second line, as you can see, we play the bell, and there's a little bell, we play the bell. And you might find it easier if you hold the bell down there, like you actually, oh yeah, okay, right. And then we have the face of the Buddha towards ourselves, and we don't. Maybe you know already how. Do you know already how to hold the bell? You don't put your finger on the face. You be careful of that, and you always have the face towards you. You know that already. Okay, that's good.
Why we should put on, for example, face on us?
Well, I'm not actually sure why you have the face towards you, but mainly I think, well, it's respectful. You don't want the face sort of pointing towards you, and also to make sure you don't put the finger. You know, if you put it at the back, then you have to hold the bell a certain way. I think maybe it's just more practical. There probably is more reasons. I don't know that detail, but mainly to make sure you don't have the finger on the face, and it's. And if you put it at the back, most likely the way you're going to hold the bell, you're going to have your fingers on the face, you know, so that's one reason. There's probably other reasons, but the practical reasons are. So then you ring the bell to the second bell, and then we're going to do a little one of putting the bell here. So you want to make sure the bell's going to go in there. So again, you're not putting your fingers on the face. So putting these two fingers like this, like that. These two, like this. Somehow holding like that, and then you put your right hand on the top, left hand on the bottom, and you do like what we call lotus tatamura, just turning around halfway, and then bringing your hands in towards you and doing a prayer like that. So you can watch me when I do it as well, and we can go over it again on Monday. We'll have a bit more time during the Lama Chopa. There's also this mudra to do at that time. So, because we don't have a lot of time for mudras today, but that's just a brief show we can also do again. So that one we're going to do many times. So.
Nu, jā, tas tā īsumā, tur, tas, ka tur ir tie, arī lastos lūkšanas, tur ir malā tie simboli, tur arī parādīts, kurā brīdī ir ātri to vārdu, kurā zvanu, un tad galvenais bija noteikums nosacījums tas, ka tur to zvanu, lai neturētu, jo tur, ir tāda neliela budas sēņa, lai neliktu pirkstu uz tās sēņas. Vienkārši jāturēt tā, lai tas tā aizvainojošs.
So that's the first one of prostration. The next one is, we can see here, offerings. At page 13, I make every collection an offering. And again, we can ring the bell, because we're making music offerings, we're making these offerings.
Un tad pirmais ir paklanīšanās cars, un pēc tam ir sako piedāvājumu sniegšana, kas es veicu visu veidu piedāvājumus, un tad arī mēs zvanam, tā kā, jo mēs veicam arī mūzikas piedāvājumu.
And then the third limb is confession, as usual. Then we have together the confession and rejoicing together in the same line.
Un tad trešais, 7 zaru lūkšanas zars ir atzīšanās savos pārkāpumos un nožēlošana. Un vienlaikus arī priecāšanās.
And the next one is request and beseech, so requesting to turn the wheel of Dharma and beseeching to remain until samsara ends.
Un tad nākamais sars ir lūgums griezt dārmas ratu, un arī mēs lūdzam, lai Buddhas paliktu ar mums līdz pēc samsāras beigām.
And then dedicating all the virtues to the great enlightenment, so 7 limbs dedication, 7 limbs dedication.
Un tad 7. sars ir visu nopelnu tautīšanu.
Then after that, what we have is we're reciting the different prayers that Buddha made. So each Buddha made different prayers to benefit us. So this one says, through the force of hearing the conqueror's name, expressing it, remembering, prostrating and offering, may all beings be freed from epidemics, execution, criminals, suffering. And so these are expressing the different prayers that the Buddha said that he would fulfill for us if we do, our part of the deal.
Un tad tālāk sako visu to lietu uzskaitījumus, ko Buddha ir apsolījis. Ja mēs veicam šo praksi, tad tas, kas tiek solīts, ko Buddha savukārt bija atbrīvoties no tādām epidēmijām, no noziedzniekiem un gariem.
So basically it's the same outline for each Buddha. We'll go to the next page, and you're going to, after we've finished reciting the different prayers that Buddha made for us, reminding them of their commitments, then we go to the next Buddha and recite his name and do the 7 limb again.
Un tad tā sacība atkārtojas pie katra Buddhas, tad mēs beidzam visu šo ar pirmo, tad pēc tam ejam pie nākamā, un tā sacība ir tāda pati.
And then at the bottom of page 15, through the force of hearing the conqueror's name, expressing, remembering, due to that power, the power of dependent arising of doing that, then please, help us to flourish in the Dharma. This is page 16. Have wealth and please give us these benefits, these prayers.
Un tad pēc tā lapas apakšā, tad šeit arī tiek paskaidrots, ka dzirdot šī Buddhas vārdu un izrunājot to, atceroties to, paklinoties tam un veicot piedāvājumus, tad arī tas, tie labumi, ko mēs saņemam. 16. lapas sākšā.
So we repeat this process 8 times for the 7 Medicine Buddhas and also for Shakyamuni Buddha. You will see that, for example, if we go to the next one, as is with all of them,
Un tad šī secība atkārtojas attiecībā uz visiem 7 medicīnas budām un arī uz šakinamību budu.
Page 18, for example, in the middle of the 7-limb prayer, we have meditate on extensive offering and meditate on rejoicing.
Un tad 18. lapā var redzēt, ka pa vidu ir divas meditācijas, meditācija par plašiem piedāvājumiem, un otra ir meditācija par priecāšanos.
So this is again from the advice of Lama Zopa Rinpoche to stop and meditate for a little while on, not just to run through, but to stop and do a little bit of meditation on offering and then a little bit on rejoicing.
Un tas ir saskaņā ar Lama Zopa Rinpoche ieteikumu, ka nevis vienkārši mēs veicam šo puķu nolasot, bet uz brīdi apstājamies, lai pameditētu par šīm lietām.
So from the side of the centre, usually if you do this practice with Lama Zopa Rinpoche, it might take about 4 hours.
Un tad, ja mēs veicam šo praksi kopā ar Lama Zopa Rinpoche, tad tas var prasīt pat līdz 4 stundām.
But for us ordinary beings,
bet mums parastiem cilvēkiem,
well, me at least, maybe we don't have that much time. We don't have, or we don't recognise that we want to spend that much time.
Mēs nejūtam, ka mums ir tik daudz, vai ka mēs vēlamies pavadīt tik daudz laiku veicot puķu.
So I'll show you a way to do, still to fulfill Rinpoche's wish, but to do more, not so extensive.
Un tad es jums parādīšu to veidu, kā mēs piepildam Lama Zopa Rinpoche ieteikumu, bet tomēr nepavadam tik daudz laika.
So we do just around 1 hour or something like that.
Mums kopumā tas prasīs apmēram 1 stundu.
But we still include some meditation.
Bet mēs tāpat ietversim kādas meditācijas.
So we go through, is there any questions so far?
Vai ir kādi jautājumi līdz šim?
Sophie? So we go through and then we finish all the Buddhas up to page number 30.
Un tad mēs uzsāksim pēc 30. lapas pusē, kad mēs esam pabeiguši visus Buddhas.
And then we have, after the Buddhas, we also do a prostration and prayer to the Dharma, to the spiritual teachings. Again, with the 2 verses of prostration and then the 7-limb prayer, and just expressing the qualities of the Dharma.
Un tad pēc tam, kad mēs esam lasījuši šos paklanīšanos un piedāvājumus Budām, tad pēc tam seko paklanīšanās un lūgumi svētajai Dharmai, kur arī izskaidrotas lielākā.
And then page 31, as it says, we just now we've done all, again, we've done all our part, so now we're requesting please to, give us and all beings the benefits of the practice.
Un tad 31. lapas pusē, tad mēs esam atkal kaut ko izdarījuši, kaut kādu praksi, tad atkal ir paskaidroti, mēs lūdzam, lai piepildu šis apsolītos labumus, kas nāk no prakses.
So you can see really here, requesting the benefits of the practice, stop enemies, harbours, epidemics. Page 32, pacify conflict, increase physical and mental bliss, increase wealth, poverty, property, crops and lifespan. So these are some of the benefits that these are extreme benefits we get from this practice.
Tad daži no šiem labumiem, ko mēs gūstam veicot praksi, te ir aprakstīti 1. lapas beigās, tad apturēt ienaidniekus, ļaundarītājus, epidēmijas, tad nomierināt visus konfliktus un vairot fizisko un mentālo svētlaimi, vairot pārticību, spēku, īpašums, ražas un dzīves ilgumu un jā, lūdzu piepildīt šos visus.
So as I said, I mentioned last night, this practice and all the practices have temporary benefits, like wealth, property, crops, just lifespan this life.
Un tad, kā es to jau vakariem paskaidroju, tad visām šīm praksēm ir gan laicīgie labumi, kā piemēram dažādi īpašumi, raža, laukos, veselība.
And then also there's a long-term benefits in terms of inner spiritual development, of developing physical and mental bliss, improving our samadhi, improving our energy to be able to do more virtuous practice. And these are expressed in the other, some of the other verses.
Tad līdz šiem te īstermiņa mērķiem ir arī ilgtermiņa mērķi, kur ir, kas attiecas uz to fiziskās un mentālās svētlaimes vairošanu, to, ka mums ir vairāk enerģija, ka mēs varam pilnveidoties savās praksēs.
So then we come to reciting the mantra. So we do there's many benefits of reciting the Medicine Buddha mantra. So we do the long mantra. You can see we usually use the common pronunciation for the long and the short one. So we'll do the long one a few times and then the short one.
Un pēc tam sako mantras skaitīšanu, un mēs skaitīsim gan garo, gan īso mantru, un tā ir mēs skaitīsim to, kas ir tas common pronunciation.
And then again there's a prostration to the different lineage gurus of this practice, and to Shakyamuni Buddha, and another, as well as the continuation of seventh limb after that.
Un pēc tam sako klonīšanās šīs prakses līnijas guru un arī Shakyamuni Budam, kas ir arī ko 7 turpinājums.
And then page 34, we request for forgiveness for any kind of mistakes we made in making the offerings, or concentration when reciting the mantra, any kind of other mistakes we made during the practice, just asking forgiveness.
Un pēc tam mēs 34. lapā mēs lūdzam piedošanu, un piedošana tiek lūgta par visām tām kļūdām, ko mēs varētu būt pieļāvuši, piemēram, iekārtojot altāri vai veicot pašu praksi.
And then we request them to always remain here with us and grant us a long life without illness, and again these benefits.
Un tad mēs lūdzam Buddhas palikt šeit ar mums un sniegt mums ilgu mūžu bez slimībām, un tad kā visi tie labumi.
So mainly requesting them, since this is the image we've used, to sort of remain and abide in that image in that way, to stay here, bless and sort of consecrate and remain energetically, spiritually in that image for us. So that's kind of what we're doing here. That's why we usually have an image there. So it holds the energy, trying to keep that image holding the energy the Medicine Buddhas.
Tad virs tā piedāvājuma galda ir arī medicīnas Buddhas tanka, un tad tā doma ir, kad mēs lūdzam palikt, tad tā enerģija tā kā paliek kopā ar to attēlu. Tas ir tas iemesls, kāpēc mums ir Buddha attēlu, tad mēs tā kā lūdzam.
Mēs arī tā kā sakoncentrējam to enerģiju, lai viņi tā kā tur paliek.
And then we recite some auspicious verses, just asking for auspiciousness for ourselves, for others, to all the root lineage gurus from the 7 Sugatas, and so there's about 5 or 6 auspicious verses, just requesting and generally, praying for auspiciousness for ourselves and others from all the different beings that we invoked and who came, when we did the practice.
Un tad ir labvēlības lūgšanas, kur mēs lūdzam šo labvēlību priekš sevis un priekš visām citām būtnēm, kas ir kaut kā saistītas, kas ir patnākušas.
And then page number 38, we do the dedication prayers that we usually do, along with page 40 along with those for our spiritual teachers.
Un tad 36. lapas pusē ir veltījuma lūkšanas, tas ir tas, ko parasti mēs darām prakses beigās, kad mēs veltam nopelnus, un tāpat tās arī mēs prakses beigās veicam ilga mūža lūkšanas, kas ir 40. lapas pusē. Ilga mūža lūkšanas saviem skolotājiem.
And then there are some tips here on page 41, just helping us to set up the altar.
Un tad 41. lapas pusē ir vienkārši daži ieteikumi attiecībā uz praksi, tur ir, kas palīdz mums izskaidro, kā iekārtot altāri.
So we can see here, it also says to prepare 8 tormas. We're not going to do that this time because I'm sorry I don't know how to prepare tormas. I'd like to learn, but I haven't learned yet.
Un tad šeit ir arī tormu piedāvājumu veikšana, bet šoreiz mēs neveiksim tormu piedāvājumus, jo es nezinu, kā veikt tormu piedāvājumus. Es ļoti gribētu iemācīties, bet es pagaidām to nezinu.
So that's another class. You'll have to do someone to learn tormas. But either way, we have, you know, the different sets of offerings. Now you can see here on page 141, it says it's best to set out 108 sets, but that's quite extensive. So 8 sets is good enough, I think, for most times.
Un tad šeit aprakstā ir arī ieteikts, ka jāpiedāvās 108 te piedāvājuma komplekti, bet tas ir tāds ļoti izvērsts piedāvājums, to mēs nedarīsim, šobrīd būs labi, un te arī teikts, ka 8 tie komplekti ir pietiekami labi.
So also, Rita was asking me last night, so not for this practice, because it belongs to the Kriya Tantras, it's ideal if you don't eat black foods before you do the practice.
Tad, tā kā šī prakse ir piederīga Kriya tantrai, tad ir ieteikts, ka ir labi, ja jūs neēdat tāds tos melnos ēdienus pirms šīs prakses veikšanas.
Black foods includes eggs, meat, fish, chicken, any kind of animal meat, onions and garlic, and radish.
Un tad tie melnie ēdieni ir olas, visu veidu gaļa, zivs, vista, kas ir nogalināts dzīvnieks, un tad arī sīpoli un redīs.
Un
radish
un
garlic. Garlic, yeah. So, of course, if you have eaten these this morning, it's okay. You don't have to leave. And if you still want to come to the puja and it's on the evening and you find yourself having eating that during the day, please just come. You know, it just means it's better if you don't. It's a little bit more powerful, you're a bit more clean body-wise if you don't eat these. So it's recommended, but it doesn't mean that you can't come if you have, if you find that you eat those during the day and the pujas in the evening.
Jā, un tad, ja jūs saprotat, ka jūs šorīt esat kaut ko no tā ēduši, jums, protams, jāiet prom, un arī citreiz, ja jūs nākat uz centra vakarā, un jūs satopaties, ka jūs dienas laikā esat ēdis kaut ko no tiem pasauktiem melniem ēdieniem, tad, protams, jānāk. Ja gribas nāk, tad jānāk vienkārši, ir tas ieteikums ir tāds, ka tas ķermenis ir tīrāks, un arī tie labumi no prakses ir lielāki, ja jūs neēdat tos melnos ēdienus.
And usually we don't eat, which I'm thinking about those muffins, we don't usually offer these foods during the puja either. We don't offer eggs or garlic, foods with garlic, and we don't eat that ourselves, we don't offer them during the practice.
Jā, un tad mēs nec paši ēdam, nec arī mēs ietveram kādus no šiem ēdieniem piedāvājumos, lai nebūtu rūles kaut kur klāt vai.
And so I just remembered we were going to offer some muffins, but they probably have eggs inside, so it's better if you don't offer those foods either. But after the puja, you can eat, go back to eat whatever you like. It's just beforehand and performing it's best if you don't.
Tad es tikko atcerējos, ka mēs arī gribējām piedāvāt mafinus, bet tur iespējams ir olas, tāpēc labāk nepiedāvāt, bet, protams, tad, kad puģa būs beigusies, tad jūs varat ēst kā ko jūs vēlaties.
Okay, so far any questions or
Ir kādi jautājumi par to, kas tu
comments? Oh, seems okay. Not too difficult.
Nav pārāk sarežģīts.
We'll see.
Pardon?
We'll see.
We'll see, yeah. Yeah, not 4 hours, no. Okay, so that's good. I mean, there is an extensive bath offering in page 43, but I mean, you may do that on special occasion when alarm comes or something, but usually we don't do that so much. We could go to page number 51 and just look. Here are some ideas, perhaps if you're reading it or you're doing it yourself, how to meditate on rejoicing. Appendix 3, page 51.
Tad 43. lapas pusē ir tāds izvērsts mazgāšanās piedāvājums, to mēs nedarīsim, to jūs varat darīt kādos īpašos apstākļos, ja atbrauc lama, piemēram, un tad savukārt 51. lapas pusē ir 3. pielikums meditācija par priecāšanos, ko arī var iepazīties, kā meditēt par šo priecāšanos.
And page number 47. Just before, is the extensive offering practice, so that's where you meditate on offerings, and that's some ideas. I mean, some ideas of how you can do that extensive offering practice, offering all the different, all the offerings. So, what we do is we spend a little bit of time, and it's just probably easier if we do it together, and I'll show you, but we spend some time just meditating and offering again and again these offerings, and many offerings that we can visualize and imagine to the different medicine Buddhas and different holy objects.
Un tad otrais pielikums, kas tika izlaists pirms, ir šie izvērstie piedāvājumi, tas arī sniedz mums idejas, kā mēs meditējam par izvērstajiem piedāvājumiem.
So again, you can see that's quite extensive. So why Rimshi spends a long time doing the pujas? Because Rimshi will stop and do these practices for a long time. We're going to stop and do them for a short time. But we still do that, we still do so.
Ja Rinpoche veikt šo praksu, tad viņš arī veikt visu šos izvērstos piedāvājumus tik ļoti izvērsti un pavadītu ilgu laiku, bet tas, ko mēs darīsim, mēs tos veiksim, bet pavadīsim salīdzinošanas laiku.
I'm just thinking, is there anything else? Somebody's got any other questions? No? So again, maybe, I think I mentioned quite a few of the benefits last night of the Medicine Buddha practice, but just before we stop, maybe we can have a quick look. If we go through the prayers, starting on page... Maybe page 25, for example. After we've done the 7-line prayer, we talk about, if we go down to page number, line 4 on page 25. So this, already when those in evil past, the lower realms attain the 10 virtues. May those controlled by others gain perfect independence, have long life, fear the names, and be virtuous. And when we pass away from this life, may we be born from lotus and that Buddha feel qualities complete. So this is just expressing the prayers that Buddha, he prayed that whoever recites my name, makes offerings, may they receive this benefit in their life, So this is what we do, just to clarify, that's what we're doing for each one, that's what this means.
Un tad šeit ir arī paskatot tie labumi, kas tiek sniegti, ja skaita attiecīgā Buddhas vārdu, tad, lai tie, kas staigā jaunus ceļus, uz zemākām pārdzimšanām iegūst 10 likumus, un tie, kurus kontrolē citi, tie iegūst neatkarību, un lai visiem ir ilga dzīve.
On page 27 again, just to see there a little bit, we go down to line 4. May each and every sentient being, such as ourselves, all become like you, grace with marks and signs. May the light dispelling darkness, enjoyment of wisdom and skillful means be inexhaustible. May those attracted to the mistaken and lesser pass enter Maya and pass on, be beautified by their vows. May we be free from pain caused by morality, be complete in faculties without disease and have abundant goods. So again, this medicine Buddha made even more extensive prayers that by reciting the names, prostrating, making offerings, ourselves and whoever we pray for, may they receive these benefits now and in future lives. So again, it's just expressing that their compassion. These prayers come from the great compassion for us.
Tad arī 27. lapas pusē, sākot ar 4. rindiņu, atkal tiek aprakstīt visu šie labumi, ko gūstam gan mēs, veicot šo praksi, un arī mēs lūdzam arī par citiem, lai viņi gūst šos labumus.
And also in the commentaries it says that the medicine Buddhas are particularly powerful during this time. Degenerate times when we're even further away from Shakyamuni Buddha's teachings. It's more difficult for us to practice internally as well as having all the external conditions. So we need even more, the prayers and practice of medicine Buddha at this time.
Tad ir arī teikts, ka šajos deģenerēšanās laikos medicīnas Buddhas prakse ir īpaši spēcīgi. Mēs kā esam tālāk no Shakyamuni, bet šita medicīnas Buddhas prakse ir ļoti spēcīga. Mēs gūstam vairāk labumu.
Because we are in the time when the Buddha's teachings are now fading, although they are coming to the West, they are, gradually fading. So one nun who stayed at Rinpoche's house, somehow they were discussing something about how the teachings are, we're at the end of the Buddha's teachings, and Rinpoche says, "We just made it." Do you understand? When Rinpoche says "we," but like we just got in there to the Buddha's teachings, because they're coming to this kind of end. And she said it was really sweet, we just made it or something like that.
Tad bija tāds gadījums Rinpoche mājās, kad pie viņu viesojās kāda mūķene, un tad viņi runāja par šiem deģenerēšanās laikiem, kad Buddhas mācības, jo šobrīd teikts, ka Buddhas mācības tā kā izplēna, un tad, uz ko Rinpoche atbildēja, ka tad mēs esam tā kā paguvuši ielikt tajā vagonā, kā paspējuši.
Although I don't think Rinpoche was really, I think he was being very humble as always, but he was probably referring more to us than Rinpoche just making it,
Un tā kā Rinpoche parasti tāds ļoti pazemīgs, tad protams, viņš vairāk domāja par mums, kad mēs esam paguvuši vēl piekļūt tām Buddhas mācībām, bet, ka mēs to izdarījām.
So I think, when the medicine Buddhas were, bodhisattvas practicing together, they could see with their clairvoyance that, at this particular time when the teachings are coming to an end, we would have many obstacles. So this is why they made these prayers, why they prayed just by reciting my name, just by making offerings. May these beings, out of our compassion for us, receive all these benefits to help and support them externally and with their, inner development. So it's a dependent, if we open up, we have faith, we can receive the compassion and the blessings of medicine Buddha, because they could see, and they made prayers particularly for us, because they said, towards the end of the teaching it's going to be really hard for sentient beings to get out of samsara, to develop realization. So they need, you know, we want them just by hearing our names, reciting our name, may they get all these different benefits.
Tā kā medicīnas būtis bija gaišredzīgi, tad viņi tajā laikā, kad viņi praktizēja un kad viņi veic šīs lūkšanas, viņi kā redzēja, ka tad, cilvēkiem dzīvojot šajā laikā būs ļoti grūti sasniegt realizācijas un ļoti grūti izkļūt no samsāras, un tādēļ ir ļoti daudz šo te apsolījumu, ka tikai dzirdot manu vārdu vai tikai veicot piedāvājumus vai tikai skaitot mantru, jau tiek gūts liels labums.
So that's why it's one of the main practices that Rinpoche does recommend for us, this puja, really important one to do at the centre, because the blessings of the medicine Buddhas are very, very powerful, particularly for us at this time.
Un tas ir arī viens no iemesliem, kāpēc Lamsapa Rinpoche īpaši iesaka veikt šo te puču centros, jo tās svētības ir ļoti spēcīgas priekš mums tieši šajā laikā.
Okay, any questions? Okay. So what we can do now then is set up the offerings. So since there's about a dozen of us, we can all do a little bit each. Maybe we can have, for example, 1 or 2 people on each set of bowls going this way. So maybe I can go round in twos, 2, first set, you start from this side. You're going to be on first set. Maybe you can go on the second set, both of you, 1, 2, set number 2, set number 3, here. Start from this side, furthest away from us, on the left side.
Un tad mēs varam sadalīt tā kā pa 2, un tad 2 cilvēki veic šo te vienu piedāvājumu. Tad vienu piedāvājumu.
And then, so that's 1, 2, set number 3, both of you. 3. And you're going to be, well, I can do 4. 4.
I can do with
No, they're already together.
Oh, okay.
4. You do 4. Ganita, you can do yourself. 5. Just because we're going to 6. But you do 6, 7. And I don't really need to do so 8. Whoever's finished first can go on to next set number 8.
yourself?
So starting from here.
You can do it yourself?
No, so I mean just so everybody gets a chance to practice, you know. So number 8, we can see if you finish, then we can go on, you know, someone could go on to number 8. Now, well, anyway, what we'll do is I'll show you. I'll just start from this end and show you what to do actually with set number 8. That's probably easier, and then you can start with 1, 2, 3. Everybody can go to their set. So we'll do this one first, the last one first. You wouldn't usually, but we'll do it just for the sake. The last one first, and then I can show you how you do, you know, so you then know how to do each individual sets. So we'll need to juggle a little bit so we can all squeeze in. But what's best to do, and I should have mentioned to Agnes that I didn't, is to get these face masks. So we probably don't have these just now, so I usually carry mine with me. But at Lama Zopa Rinpoche's houses, we always use these for all the offering.
Tad tas, ko es esmu saknesē pateikt, bet ir ļoti labāk ir valkāt šo te sejas masku, tad, kad veic piedāvājums. Nu, tas ir tas, ko mēs parasti veicam piedāvājums Lamsapas Rinpochē mājā,
So it also helps to keep, you'll see that in many monasteries when they're at the altar, to keep things clean, so you're not breathing and things on the altar.
Maybe we can use kata?
If you've got some katas, that would be great.
Can we use also our own cloth?
Yes,
like this?
yeah, you can. For now, it's good to use a sort of white cloth.
Wow,
Yeah, that works.
yeah.
As long as you can breathe, you know, I'm not expecting you to like faint because you can't breathe. But it's to keep cleanliness, and I do notice when I don't do it, when I'm not being mindful, it's not so, you don't feel the blessing so much you're doing the practice, you know, you don't feel the purity so much of the practice.
Tas tiek darīts tā, lai šos piedāvājums būtu tīri, lai mēs uz viņiem neelpotu, tur nešķaudītu, vai, un tā kā skolotāji arī pēc savas pieredzes teica, ka tad, ja to nedara, ja neizmanto šo masku, tad var just, ka tās svētības nav tik spēcīgas, un tas efekts nav tik izteikts, kā ir tad, ja ir tomēr viss mēs saglabājam šo te apzinātību un visu piedāvājam ir tīri.
Agnes, if you've got something to say, I can just use the light. Yeah, that's true. When we recite mantras, then we blow, but that's to bless the water. But if we're not reciting mantras and we're just talking, then the speech is not so pure.
Tas ir cits, tā ir cita praksa, kad tā kā skaita tās mantras un pēc tam svēta ūdeni ar elpu, bet šis ir savādāk. Šis ir tā, ja mēs tad veicam tos piedāvājumus un runājam, tad tas nav labi priekškam piedāvājumi.
I wanted to ask, it's possible that we might not finish till 1 o'clock, so we have lunch from 1 till 2:30. Is anyone here not able to stay till 1 o'clock?
Tad iespējams, ka mēs nepagūsim līdz
we were supposed to finish at 12:30, but we'll probably finish at 1. Does anyone need to leave before then?
Vai ir kāds, kurš nevar palikt līdz 1? Izstāst, ka mēs beigsim tikai ar 1. Ir paredzēts pēc sarakstā 12:30.
I have to call him.
You have to leave at 1. Okay, that's
No,
fine.
she has to call.
I have to call him and ask.
Oh, okay, because you wanted to leave by 12:30. Well, let's do this, and then do you want to call in the break time? Because we're going to have a break. Or do you need to call now?
No, actually, I will call and ask. Maybe I can stay until 1 o'clock.
Yeah.
There is not a problem.
Okay. So, what we'll do is, so when you light incense, most of you know already, you always say Om Ahom, to bless. All the offerings, when you light a candle, you say Om Ahom. When you put some food on the altar, you say Om Ahom, to bless and transform and purify into something more pure that the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas would enjoy. They already see it as pure, but it's purifying our mind. So we gradually, have the karma to see and experience everything around us and pure, like the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. So it's just really purification for us. Everything's pure for the Buddhas already, but we're trying to get in that direction, So we say Om Ahom to bless the incense, purify it into something pure, and then, so we're going to go to. Oh, sorry.
Tad, kad mēs aiztacinām vīraku, vai arī kad mēs aiztacinām svecītas, tad mēs skatām mantru Om Ahom, tas ir tā kā attīra. Un, attīršos piedāvājums, protams, ka puses ar savu redzēšanu viņi jau redz, ka tie piedāvājumi ir tīri, bet tas ir vairāk tā kā priekš mums pašiem, ka mēs attīram.
Kā tā mantra ir?
Om Ahom.
Om Ahom. Om Ahom.
Om Ahom.
Om Ahom.
And actually, just to do it well, Agnes and Rita, you were on number 1, yeah? You can go on number 8 now. You can go and set number 8, and I'll start at number 1. Just so we're going in there. Everybody's the same, everyone else the same. So but you're going to be on set number 8, so we'll swap out number 1. So what you do is you pick up the bowl, and you go Om Ahom 3 times away from you, Om Ahom in the anti-clockwise direction. Om Ahom purifying all the obstacles of yourself and all beings. And then Om Ahom towards you 3 times, that's in the clockwise, so it's anti-clockwise and then clockwise. And you're receiving all the blessings of the body, speech and mind of the Buddha. That's the more extensive way, simple way, just Om Ahom 3 times.
Tad pēc tam mēs veicam piedāvājumu trauku attīrīšanu, tad skatot šo te mantru Om Ahom 3 reizes prom no sevis.
Pretēji pulseņu rādītāju virzienam un pēc tam.
Jā, bet pēc tam, kad mēs, pēc tam atpakaļ.
Uz turiem mēs tā kā dodam
citiem svētiem.
Uz atpakaļ saņemam.
So this also helps to purify the bowls, so that sometimes little spirits can come in and try to take the offering. So it helps to pacify and purify any kind of spirit interference.
Tagad vīraks arī palīdz attīrīt kādas garu iejaukšanās, jo varbūt tā kādi gari tur iekārtojas tajos traukos.
Maybe you do 3 and then someone else does, next one does 3, so you do half each. So you each set, you do first one does 3, second one does 3, so you get a chance each. And then if you're on your own, you do the whole lot. We could actually what we can do is get another incense and maybe from this end, start from the other end. Say that we can do this the same way. Or just light this one. We might be finished by then, but anyway, it doesn't have like anything. In this practice, the offerings, this is a Kriya Tantra practice. There's different classes of Tantra. This is Kriya or Action Tantra.
Bet šī prakse ir dažādi tantras veidi, un šī ir Kriya tantra, jeb dabības tantra.
So this in Kriya Tantra, making offerings, keeping clean, doing this. It's called action because the activity making offerings and doing something physical is very important for our purification and our ability to be able to practice and receive the blessings of that tantra.
Tad šajā tantrā ļoti svarīgi šī tīrība, lai viss būtu tīrs, lai tie piedāvājumi būtu tīri, lai mēs neelpotu. Un tā ir tā darbība, ko mēs veicam, un tās darbības rezultātā mēs arī saņemam vairāk svētības.
That one, okay, because we have rice in a couple of those bowls. So who's on number 8? Maybe Rita, you can start on this side.
Rita and Agnes is on it.
Rita and Agnes, and who's on number 7? You know, so you can start over here. Rita here. Whoever's on number 4 can come up. We're on 4 and 8, and then we're going to be on 5 and 7. You're number 4.
When doing this with incense, do we also have to cover?
Yes, really. As soon as you start on the altar, just put your from lighting it, just immediately before you do anything on the altar, even washing the bowls, cleaning everything. I mean, ideally, when you arrange flowers, when you put on fruit on the altar, you should. Ideally, we should do this. We should be doing talking, and I'm not. Sometimes I get a little sloppy as well, but as much as we can, it's best.
Right.
Yeah. So number 5, I think, is next after Oscars. Katas are good because that's what they used to wear in the monastery. Anyway, it was a white scarf, and the white's for purification as well. Great. Number 7. You're number 7, aren't you? Yeah. So now, who's number 1? I know I did number 1, but I'll show you. Maybe I'll do a couple and someone else can help with number 1. So we're going to be on, from the couples, somebody's going to be on water and somebody's going to be on rice. So choose. What? One's water and one's rice. Okay. Did you call it? Oh, you do it after. Yeah. Great. So we can put the incense in here, flat, just lie it flat in here. Did we do 7, 6? Number 6 we did?
Number 6?
Yes. Number 6. Yes, that's right. No, just 6. Because one of these is this is the candle, so it's actually 6 bowls and then we just have a candle with it. It's 6 offerings, isn't it? Each couple has 1 water and one rice. So now we're going to show you how to do the water. So again, what do we say for the water before we start? To bless. How do we bless the water? Omahum. So, when, and some of you know already how to do water bowls, usually easiest is to just put a little bit in the bottom first, and then you go back and fill. So the first 2 bowls, Omahum, are going to have water. And usually it's supposed to be straight line, the thickness of a grain of rice between, because that's how they measured at the time of the Buddha. They didn't have rulers. So usually about 2 millimeters between. All the bowls should be the same distance apart in a straight line.
Un tas, ko mēs parasti darām, tad mēs ielējam katrā traukā nedaudz ūdens iesākumā, un tad tiem traukiem jābūt izkārtotiem taisnā līnijā, un attālums starp traukiem ir aptuveni viena rīsa grauda platums. Tas ir tā mērvienība, kas tika lietota Budas laikā, un tagad mēs varam teikt, ka ir aptuveni 2 millimetri.
So again, we're saying Omahum. And so when you fill the bowl also, it should be the same at the top, about the thickness of a grain of rice from the top. So not too full, but also not too empty. So around about this height you're trying to find. I think this looks good, so you just need to be a little bit watching, you know, what you're doing. Omahum.
Tad mēs arī sakot Omahum piepildām šis trauks, un arī no trauka virsējās malas ir tas rīsa grauda platums. Lai tā doma ir tāda, lai trauks nebūtu pārāk piens un lai nebūtu pārāk tukšs.
And then you fill up the rice bowl again, something around about this amount, some distance from the top, because we're going to put something inside.
Un tad arī ir rīta trauks, kur mēs pildam rīsus, arī mēs piepildam tāpat gan rīz līdz pašai augšai atstājot tos 2 millimetrus.
And then an apple, Omahum. So this is for the food. So you can see how each one's done. Yeah, because we've got an extra one.
Tad šeit tiek ielikt tie piedāvājumi, kas simbolizē.
So this is how you do each one. This is water for drinking, washing, water for, this is flour offering, but sometimes you can put silk flowers. You can put rice in there and put silk flour. Today we're going to have a regular flour. And then incense, light, perfume and food. So whoever's on the water can do the water, and whoever's on the rice can do the rice and the incense and the food. And we've got here an incense. So maybe set number 2s and number 8 can come up and do their set. When you're pouring the water, if you can try and pour it, try and think that when you offer to the Buddhas, it's like offering to a king. It's like if you're working in a really expensive hotel, you're taught how to do all this nice, you don't go up and go, there's your coffee, like it's a cheap coffee shop, you know. So it's like you're in a, you know, you're serving kings or royalty. So you do all this, you know, you hold the water jug very nicely, and it's not like what's these cheap American coffee bars where they just go up and you know, pour the coffee. We're in an expensive hotel where we're serving the royal family or something, you know, so we do it really nicely. Yeah.
If you fill the first one and then the next one.
You can do that as well, yeah. But you shouldn't. Sorry to translate it.
Nu jā, un tas tika teikts, ka mēs varam tad iedomāties, ka mēs apkalpojam kādus īpašus viesus kādā dārgā viesnīcā, un kādu karalisko ģimeni, un tad ar tādu attieksmi arī mēs lejam un turam šo te kannu, nevis tā, kā mēs tur kādā lētā kafijas veikalā liet, un tad arī, nu tad šeit arī tas piedāvājums, es to neiztapot pirms tam. Var redzēt, tad ir tas ūdens, tas dzeramais ūdens kāju mazgāšanai, tad ir, un tur, kur nāk klāt, tur ir papildinās, tur ir ziedi, vīraks, gaisma un smaržūdens, tas, kur pirmspēdējais, tas ir smaržūdens, un pēdējais ir ēdiens, kas ir obols.
So usually the thing to avoid is turning the water bowls upside down on the altar empty. So every time you empty a bowl, you turn it upside down because you don't want to offer something that's an empty bowl. That's usually why we put some drop in first, put it on the altar, then fill up, because it's easier than holding it in your hand and filling it up and then putting it on the altar. So that's one reason why we do that, just put a small amount first, then put on the altar.
Un tad galvenais, no kā vajag izvairīties, ir tas, ka tajā brīdī, kad mēs apgriežam to trauku uz augšu, tad nelikt viņu uz altāru, jo tā ir tā kā slikta zīme, ka mēs piedāvājam uz altāru ir nolikts tukšs trauks. Tas ir, tāpēc arī mēs tajā brīdī, kad mēs viņu apgriežam, mēs ielējam nedaudz ūdens, tikai tad mēs noliekam uz altāru, tā lai tas, tā lai neliktu. Un ja ir tukšs, tad tikai apgriezt tā veidā viņu var likt uz altāru.
Okay, so you can do that as well. It just depends on the bowls. There's a couple of sets you can do, but some of them, the rim is just going to spill. So I just teach people to do one piece, but you can also do, of course you can do that if you have the right bowls.
And when you put the drops, first you start from the outside.
You start from Argan, Raja,
And then when you just put the drop, and then when you start filling it up, it's the same
you just go
direction.
to the same direction. So number, I mean it may be easier, well we'll just do number 7. Are you on your own, number 7? You're on your own?
Yeah.
Does someone else want to help in the same? So she's on her own? Or do you want to do it yourself? Would somebody else like to do the rice with Innisfree? You can do it also with yours. But you might have this job to do it anyway. To practice.
šādi tagad visāties tam mēs nāmies tur maisīsimies viens otram.
So the next one is number 6.
And 5, but we'll, I'll let number 6 first, otherwise
It's a bit too tight.
Yeah, because
You can probably fill
Yeah,
your,
just-
you can probably fill your rice bowls.
yeah, exactly.
And we can change that incense in number 3 because it's not really. Oh well, what we should do with the incense is really have them like this. Have them all the same. So this should be a little bit more like that. And this is odd lengths, you know. So whoever's to put them the same size, get pieces the same size. Whoever was on that, I'm not sure the same. I mean, there's different ways of doing the incense, but the main thing is however you do it, to do them all the same way. Whatever tradition, there are different traditions. You can put them like this with flowers and make it really nice, but to have them all the same, whatever way you decide, you're going to put them all the same. Yes, you can. So we can probably put the kettle on as well and have a tea break before we start the puja. So we'll put the kettle on. Boil the kettle. So if you do the practice at the centre, if you want to come for the practice, it's actually really nice if you can come a little bit before and help with the offerings. Because it kind of helps you to start to really engage with the practice. It's a purification before you do the practice. It's an important part of the practice in this Tantra. So if you can, the centre might say, okay, the puja's on at 7 o'clock, but what's nice is to give people the opportunity to come 15 minutes earlier, or say we start setting up at 7 o'clock and we start at 7:20, so people have a chance to engage in the offerings, because that's an important part of the practice.
Tad, ja jūs nākat veikt šo praksi uz centru, tad ir ļoti labi, ja jūs atnākat ātrāk, un, teiksim, centrs var arī izsludināt, ja praksa sākās 7, tad var atnākt 15 minūtes vēlāk, lai palīdzētu iekārtot altāru un veikt šos piedāvājumus, jo tas ir arī ļoti labvēlīgi priekš jums pašiem, ka jūs piedalāties un jūs veicat šos piedāvājumus.
So I think, Ganita, are you going to put more water, Ganita,
Where?
in your bowls? Both set number 3 and set number 5 need more water.
Okay.
So I would say, like this one is better. So also, set number 3
Trešajam.
would fill a little bit more.
Trešajam.
Yeah, more like, just like a thickness of a couple millimeters.
It's a bit difficult to see
It's
like
hard.
you just
Yeah,
because of the
You
ornament.
just
But
dip
yeah,
it
okay.
in a little bit.
Sure.
And also this is a similar colour,
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Really on pose really. Beautiful. So it looks nice, doesn't it? So you can see it kind of helps the mind. The point is to help and open up our mind, bring about some faith and openness before you start the practice.
Do 3 turning.
I mean, I think the 3 times is good, but I think it's not really a set amount you have to do. But the more you say you purify your speech, that there's not any, as long as
It's
you
not
say
like
that.
this because I think I used to do
fixed.
like normal, like every
Yeah. But it's not fixed, yeah. But of course, the more you say it, you purify your mind and speech. So nice, good. So it looks very nice, yeah. Even if you do a hole, you can use smaller bowls or. And the saffron water, it doesn't need to be very strong because saffron can be expensive, but it's supposed to be the colour of champagne.
Then we can use champagne.
But they will be balls.
Let's maybe.
Komentārs bija par to, ka safrāns, tas, ko mēs piedāvājam, ir safrāna ūdens, bet safrāns, tā kā safrāns var būt dārgs, tad nevajag daudz, tā ir galvenais, lai tā krāsa reprezentē kā šampaniešu krāsa.
So you don't, so it shouldn't be bright gold, it should be very subtle.
Tam nav jābūt spoži dzeltenam, bet tas var būt vienkārši nedaudz iedzeltens.
Okay, so shall we have a 15-minute tea break? Coffee break, juice break, whatever. And then we can start. Yeah, then start about. Tomorrow is design.